View botting has been a problem for a very long time on Twitch. And with Twitch rolling out their first wave of bot banning, well, that's not the official term, but they just rolled out their first wave of catching bots in people's streams. And let's just say that a lot of the top dogs were actually affected. And as for the overall platform, Twitch viewership is down 24%. Now, this doesn't mean that your favorite streamer is going to have to get a job, or, you know, you ain't going to catch fucking XQC at fucking McDonald's or Lacey having to fucking flip burgers in the back asking for buns, all right? We ain't talking about that shit.
Pretty good. Hey, 30-39 on my second game of controller. I'm doing pretty good, no?
But as for all the other streamers who are, you know, average about, I'd say 1,000 to 2,000 viewers, these people are going to take a hit. And it's going to show in the numbers. You know, the numbers have come out. I don't want to flash anybody's stats on screen because, you know, you can just look that up on your own. I don't really give a fuck about it. I'm just here to talk about, you know, the overall problem. Now, view botting on the platform has been prevalent for many, many years. This isn't anything new. It's a method that's literally been abused for so long, and they're finally cracking down on it. I just want to know what took them so long to actually see this as a problem, because now, since the numbers have been artificially inflated, we can't tell who's real and who's fake in, you know, people's streams anymore. You know, until they really get rid of all the bots, then we'll start to see the truth. But as for right now, I still think that the top dogs are chilling. They're not really going to be affected. But as for everybody else who was botting, you know, if you were under, I'd say 1,000 viewers and you're botting, it's going to obviously show. And I feel like people are just going to start snitching on themselves once those bots just get, you know, removed from their streams. Now, view botting is a really big business. Believe it or not, streamers pay really good money to have view bots, and I don't blame them. If a streamer is going to get partnered with, I don't know, let's say like Asus or Windows or some other big tech company or whatever, and they're promoting a product, so they're doing a promotional stream. If they have view bots in those streams and the numbers are inflated, these companies reach out to these streamers and they see that, you know, their numbers look great, their metrics look on par, they're getting great viewership, and they do a collaboration stream with them. So they getting paid for it. Now, these brands aren't aware that probably half of those views are fake. They're not real. These are bots that are consuming the space and are just artificially inflating the numbers. Therefore, it doesn't give them a way to actually see what's authentic and, you know, how much traffic are they actually gaining from real authentic people behind a computer clicking on their links to purchase that product in a promotional stream or whatnot. So Twitch can make a change in people's ad revenue through their metrics. I know that they have all that back end information and everything, you know, it's fucking Twitch, but these, you know, these partners that they're promoting with, they don't, you know. So if you're a brand and you're out here, you know, trying to get your company out, or, you know, anything like that, and you're reaching out to somebody who you think has a lot of viewers, you might want to think twice. You know, how many of those people in that stream are actually real? You know, will this actually gain you organic traffic to your website? I guess time will tell. You know, we just have to see for ourselves. But don't sleep on the market, man, because they will find a way to keep this shit going. There's obviously a really good reason why, you know, they're going to try their best to avoid detection. You know, it's bringing them so much fucking money. Now, it isn't anything new that Twitch just sucks at enforcing policies. Like, you guys remember the fucking hot tub meta? You guys remember the streamers that just showed all cleavage and just had their fucking titties and ass out, and they just weren't receiving any sort of punishment? They just got the tiniest slap on the wrist. There was a couple that even had sex, like, on stream. Like, does anybody fucking remember that? So it's a good thing that they are cracking down on the view botting. I'm actually curious just to see, you know, once the numbers really start to roll out and they, you know, they roll out another wave of, you know, view bot detection, banning. I'm just, damn, bro. Some people are really going to be fucked. If you guys aren't aware, there is a meta that was like floating under the surface and under the radar for quite a while. It was a really secret method. So it's kind of, think of it like money laundering in a way, but with view bots. So essentially what you would do is, if you averaged around, let's say 500 viewers or so, you would view bot and try to inflate those numbers up to about 800 to 700. And people would be more enticed to click on your stream because you're roughly, you know, you're close to like 1,000 viewers and whatnot. You know, you can do this from anywhere in the range. I'd say if you were like at 2,000 or under, but you inflating these numbers entices people to click on your stream because nobody really wants to watch a streamer that has, you know, low numbers and stuff. Let's just be real. That's just how it is. So if you have more viewers, more people are, you know, enticed to click on your stream. So what these people essentially would do is they would build an organic fan base with the view bots. And as time would go on, they would, you know, slow down on the view bots, and they would let the organic traffic come through, you know, in the forms of subs and, what's the other thing? Bits, you know, the followers and everything. And this makes it really hard to detect because you can't really differentiate the real views from the botted views, because if the chat's moving at a certain speed, it looks pretty realistic. You know, you're not going to just catch it out in public. You know, you have to really, really dissect somebody's stream. And let's be real, who the fuck has time for that? So now the main question that I have is, once people start to see the effect of Twitch, you know, getting rid of all the bots, because I'm curious to see how far they go, will they move to YouTube? We all know botting on YouTube is a huge fucking problem as well, but now I just question, will they move to YouTube and do this shit? It's nothing new. I don't see why they wouldn't. They have to keep the numbers going. Streaming is just getting more and more cooked by the day, and until, you know, we just don't have any of this shit, man, I don't know. It's hard to say where the platform is going to stand, you know, I'd say in about a year from now. Yeah, this is just something that I wanted to yap about. If you watched the entire video, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.